Hey everyone, it's Brian at Pray Trade Repeat. Pray Trade Repeat is my TikTok. Brian Kelty, BrianKealty is my YouTube. There's only one Pray Trade Repeat, and that's mine. It's not the one that has a hyphen at the end or some guy that's sending you message trying to buy crypto or sell crypto. I don't know anything about crypto. All I know about is IXHL. That's all I ever talk about. So today is Tuesday, September 9th. 2025. We're talking about IXHL as always. And what do we have? So we started off the week. Yesterday was Monday. We went from 52 to 58. It went as high as 63 cents yesterday. The day closes around 58 cents. We see some action after hours. It looks like it's going over 60. We open with a giant, massive red candle and get slammed down back to 52, 53 cents again. And then it looks like this is what our day is going to be like. However, what happens? So I mark out the first 15-minute candle to try to see where price action is going to go. And it just dips a little bit below the lower half of the first 15-minute candle. And then all of a sudden it reversed and we see some green candles. And for the first time ever, this was unusual for me. For somebody who watches the chart every day, pretty unusual. All of a sudden now we have these solid 5-minute candles just, marching like a stairmaster up. Dun, 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 dun. I was like, this is something's unusual here. And then of course, and so I marked out the uptrend, I marked down, and then I marked down the downtrend. It ended up in an X. We saw it go up like this, and then right when it got to the top, right when it needed to go past 57 cents, 57 cents was kind of like a reversal signal. We knew if we hit 57 and then we started, going up towards and over 62, we would have had a reversal, but we didn't have a reversal. We had just more of the same, in my opinion, which is, when I say my opinion, this is not financial advice. And in my opinion, I'm not a financial analyst. I barely know anything about analyzing charts. So my opinion is like really, it's just, this is for entertainment purposes only. But in my opinion, for somebody who's been watching this chart and these charts, and specifically IXHL, since April, since the end of April, watching it go from 8 cents to $1.73 at one point, and watching it come back down, and all of the activity here. What does this look like to me? To me, in my opinion, I mean, listen, I don't know. Everyone has their reticular formation. That's what we're learning about today in school, and that means that you see things the way that you are. So, in my humble perception, of course, I see things as the company is diluting the stock. And if I put myself in the shoes of the CEO, right? So the guy announces mind-blowing phase 2 results for a general anxiety drug. The stock should explode, but instead it goes down from 90 cents to now where we're at 52 cents, right? It gets slammed 40 cents roughly, right? And since then, which has been about 2 weeks of trading, right? What do you think is happening, right? And we have a history of this guy, and this is my world, my reality. This is what I perceive as reality. This guy is massively dumping millions and millions of shares into every positive PR announcement because he is interested in one thing and one thing only right now, and that is raising or taking the $100 million that they're allowed to take off the table without shareholder approval anytime they want, regardless of what he said in the past. They lie all the time, okay? Lying, and he's allowed to lie about it. He's allowed to say, we have no intention of using the at the market right now, and then use the at the market. They're allowed to do that. So, in my opinion, that's what he's been doing. He's, of course, releases PR and does what he always does, and then slams the price back down again. Diluting and dumping millions of shares, roughly 8 to 12 million shares a day, most likely, since August 26th, and with the goal of completing the $100 million capacity of the at the market equity available to the company without shareholder approval, right? So, you know, if you're listening to this, you're like, okay, but what's the positive side, man? Like, what's the upside? Well, the upside is this, right? So if any of you out there are all like everyone, I watch Stock Twits just for a few people, and I see that everyone in Stock Twits, all they're talking about is and God bless all you guys, and I want the best for everyone, but all they're talking about is oh, but he said he's going to do the $20 million worth of shares repurchase. He said he's going to do it. This is it. It's coming. This is it. No, it's not it. It's not it. This is not it. Why would he do it now? Why would you do it now? He's dumping millions of shares into the float every day. He's not going to do a $20 million worth of share repurchase if the stock price is plummeting every single day for 2 weeks straight since he announced the anxiety results, right? 1. 2, why would the stock go down this much every single day since he announced the news? Because he's dumping millions of shares into the float. Why would he? Okay, Brian, but why would he do that? Because he does it every announcement. If you notice, phase 2 clinical top line results for the OSA for the sleep apnea drug did the same thing. Announced as $100 million at the market offering. Right when the stock is like $1.73, and when it was about to keep running to like $5, he dumped millions of shares into the float and took money off the table. He cannot help himself. Okay, so I have a feeling right now that what's happening is he's going for the entire $100 million. So in my opinion, and I'm almost out of time, what's happening is the CEO, the CFO, the company is going to take all of those, is going to dump approximately, I don't know, let's say 110 million shares at an average price of like 55 cents or 54 cents a share, right? 110 million shares, 54 cents a share, that's $50 million about, right? I'm assuming he's going to take the entire $100 million off the table, and by doing that, he's going to need to, the price is going to need to go down even lower. It's not low enough for him to complete it. The good news is this. Earnings are supposed to take place on September 29th. Some people say October. Some people say November, right? So here's the good news. Here's where we all get really positive, okay? And you understand why you're watching this video. Sooner or later, he has to report earnings. And when he reports earnings and says that he raised $100 million and they now have $130 million or $120 million in cash, the stock will re-rate itself, right? It will re-rate itself in this earnings report on that day, and he won't be able to dilute the stock anymore, right? Or he's raising $50 to $75 million now. He releases an earnings report, says that he raised that money. We raised $50 million more. We now have $70 million total. And then the stock shoots up on the good news. You get all the people selling the news again, and then he dilutes the rest and takes the rest of the $100 million. Sooner or later, the at-the-market capacity will be complete. They will reverse when he gets all his money, because that's what he's doing. Because if you haven't figured it out, he's a greedy bastard, right? With a huge salary and a lot of doctors to pay. He's going to take all his money, and when he finally hits the capacity where he's not allowed to take any more money off the table, that's when he may or may not buy $20 million of shares, probably at a likely rate about 30 cents, 2 times 3. I mean, and then that will take about 90 million shares out of the 232 is a rough estimate. And you minus 232 from 90, you got like 110 million shares outstanding and $120 million in cash. And now he can't dilute the stock anymore without shareholder approval. On that day, my friends, that's the day when the stock flies. It shoots, it explodes, and there's nothing you can do about it. Bye.